Why are barriers on the highway made of cement instead of some material that wouldn't destroy your car if you accidentally hit it? The main function of a barrier is to stop your car from going where it shouldn't, such as into oncoming traffic. As such, it is not tuned to reduce damage to your car. There's a tremendous amount of kinetic energy in a car moving at highway speed, and the barrier has to absorb and redirect it. Preventing damage to your car isn't even on the list of purposes for highway safety devices. 1 is preventing damage to the occupants of the car. 2 is preventing damage to the occupants of other cars. If you accidentally hit anything stationary at highway speed, your car is gonna get destroyed. That's how physics work. Many barriers on highways are designed for impact. You get the cable barriers with upright supports that snap off and are designed to catch the vehicle. There's plastic impact barriers, spring-loaded, and water-based ones there's heaps around. The barriers are designed not simply to crash your car, but to reduce you bouncing into traffic or flying into oncoming traffic. You're much safer hitting a stationary barrier than being repeatedly hit and causing a bigger traffic accident and hurting more people. Option A: they are made of concrete. You lose control of your car and your car gets damaged. Maybe 1 or 2 others depending on what happens. Option B: they are made of something that your car can just push through, causing minimal damage to your car. Except now you have knocked pieces of the barrier into incoming traffic, which causes damage to other cars and also causes them to swerve, which causes further damage to their car along with other cars they hit. Oh, and your car is now going into incoming traffic, which causes more damage to your car as well as any other cars you hit. So let's review. Option A causes damage to your car and maybe a couple of others. Option B causes even more damage to your car as well as causing damage to multiple other cars. And that's assuming no one is injured in any of this. Now you tell us, which makes more sense? Why are you even hitting the barriers? Should you be on the highway? Not an answer since others already have. But in most of Europe they are made of metal, not sure which kind. They aren't solid, so you have vision through them. And at least in Denmark, there are stretches of highway where they can be open-edge removed in a short period of time. Those places that have the concrete type, are they solid all the way or are they separate pieces that could be moved by a crane if needed? Because if they made them soft, they'd be less effective at preventing vehicles from crossing into oncoming traffic or other lanes. There are barriers filled with water to reduce impact to your vehicle. They typically look like large barrels. They have to be strong enough to stop a speeding car from going wherever they've barricaded off, for example into oncoming traffic, or off a cliff. The basic idea is to keep you on your side of the highway where you're traveling among other vehicles going the same direction and speed. Even though there is the possibility of some serious damage, it is much safer than crossing over to the other side of the highway going the opposite direction. Because you'll just go right through it otherwise. Because they don't want to have to go fix, repair, replace the thing every week. Plus, some local gobs feel if you're dumb enough to hit a huge concrete sign barrier, you deserve whatever damage you do to your vehicle. And no, you can't sue because these concrete things are common all over the world. One of the first things driver's ed teaches you is don't hit big concrete things. Saving your life and those of others is the priority. Protecting your car is not. Because materials that won't destroy your car are also materials with no barrier stopping ability to keep a 2-ton bullet from going into the other lanes hitting more cars. Their purpose is to protect other vehicles and people, not to not damage your car. Having soft barriers is like having a paper bulletproof vest to not damage the bullet fired at you. Cars aren't really built to take multiple accidents at highway speed. The car is designed to absorb impact instead of deflect it, which would be worse for the passenger. If barriers were made to not hurt the car as much, that means they would be the objects destroyed, and would then have to be replaced, jacking your taxes, even higher than the crazy high taxes we currently pay. And then they would also probably not get fixed. Like huge rubber bands that would fling you back into traffic. In my town, they built a freeway with lots of room for expansion between the 2 directions and no barrier. Occasionally cars went off and there was a heads-on collision, and people complained that it was unsafe. Caltrans said it was intentionally, and they had scientifically determined that overall it was safer to have no central barrier. So many wipeouts would have no crash, but some would cross over into traffic. Despite their explanation, people didn't believe and a barrier was put in, leading to lots of crashes into the central barrier but fewer heads-on. If you hit almost anything 65, it's going to damage your car.